So we've got a nice group of quite diverse people here, and the way we're going to do this session is I'm going to ask questions to everybody turn by turn, and if anybody else on the panel would like to add something to the answer, then please feel free to do that. And then at the end we'll take some questions and answers from people who are watching. So basically, the way the way I see it, everybody's got some unique. Yeah. Major Rahman? Okay. So everybody's got some unique insights to bring to this panel. I'd like to, talk to Wing Commander Arun Singh about a large overview of careers in golf industry and some questions about where he sees opportunities for people. Then we'll talk to Indrajit because Indrajit has a unique experience of actually creating a proper academic structure jointly with a college in Calcutta. And he's also, giving opportunity to a lot of youngsters to come in at his academy. So we'll talk to him about that. Gaurav has spent 4 years in Saudi Arabia. So Gaurav, we'd really like to hear from you about that because Saudi Arabia appears to be the hottest golf development destination today in the world, if you go by the kind of plans that they've announced. So we'd like to talk to you about, your experience there and what are the opportunities you see there for people in the audience and for people looking at enhancing their golf careers. And then we'll talk to Major Rahman, who will tell us, a lot of us don't know that much about what's happening in golf in Bangladesh. So we'd like to hear from him about the interest in golf and, the kind of opportunities that are coming up in Bangladesh in the future. So that just gives you kind of an overall view of where I'd like to, go with the panelists. But of course, as I mentioned, when we ask questions, any of the other panelists would like to jump in, please, feel free and, add to the answer. So we'll start with Wing Commander Arun Singh. And just wanted, an overview. Today, obviously, we have the superintendents and managers opportunity is the biggest one in India because with 200 odd golf courses, you would think that there's opportunity for 300 to 400 superintendents. There should be opportunities for 200 to 400 people in terms of management, right? So if a person today wants to get in and make this either as a superintendent or a manager of a golf club, what's the best way to get into that as a career? What would you suggest to a youngster who's trying to get into the golf industry?
Rishi, the best way at the first step would be to become a member of GCS-MAI.
Perfect.
That will be the first step. Primarily not for anything else, but because it opens your eyes, it provides you information about venues which are available. As we all know, among all the sports, a golf course is the biggest employment generator, and that is something which policymakers should take note of. As compared to any other sport, golf is the biggest employment generator. And while we may see players, we may see coaches in the forefront, we may see even some operations people in the forefront, there's a lot of employment which is in the background. And greenkeepers, other staff, they come into it. Traditionally, there is one flaw which the golf course managements do in India primarily because it's not their fault. It was to some extent it's lack of information. To some extent it's lack of financial success for most of the projects. So there has been a tendency that you could actually have someone who is doing horticulture, and horticulture not of the highest order. Someone who's a lawn mower or a lawn keeper can also become a greenkeeper. There's a flaw in that primarily because a greenkeeper must understand the requirement of the sport as such. A golf course comes under more stress. The grass is under more stress because of lower mowing. You have a specialized grass, you have specialized irrigation, etc. Now, coming to how do you get into that? There are short-term courses which are available in Asia. There are also short-term apprenticeship which are available, but primarily US is the fountainhead of golf in the world as of now. So if you go to US, there are short-term courses available which give you a lot. But what I would suggest is what the European Golf Association used to follow. a lot of apprenticeship after you gain basic knowledge, because apprenticeship is necessary to you have to got to work with your hands, and you got to understand the machinery. So while you have certain amount of theoretical knowledge, in India, a lot of greenkeeping comes. There's also a basic supply of talent in India through agricultural colleges. Agricultural colleges do provide a similar field of study, and you understand the botanical aspects, you understand the fertilization. There's only a difference. I mean, why these short-term courses are necessary is because you need to reorient yourself to the requirement of golf. When you do agriculture, grass is generally a weed. I mean, there's no one who grows grasses. So you got to think of grasses which take more stress. And while they take more stress, in golf, you got to have an optimum stress. Why you keep the turf under stress, but you also don't want the turf to be underfed. So this balance comes to the fore with a lot of practical experience. And what is important for the golf course managements in India is to understand that you cannot get people to do greenkeeping just because they have maintained a small lawn somewhere. So once this cycle comes in, and that's where I think our association comes into play, that we try and reach out to golf courses in India. We try to reach out to the people who matter, who are decision makers, and we bring certain amount of respectability to the career of a greenkeeper. If you go back again abroad, so if you go to Scotland, a lot of traditional old golf courses have had the same greenkeeper for 20 years, 25 years, long careers in the same place. Why? Because Scotland is very varied. The grasses are very varied. So you want them to be very, very conversant with the local ecosystem. US follows a slightly different model. US is like a career where people keep changing every 3 years, every 4 years, every 2 years. The accountability is high. So I think there are avenues and they should be taken. So agricultural colleges, short-term courses, certain amount of education through practical involvement. That is how a career will be built. And it's not a very simple career. It's a difficult career. So it needs that respect and recognition from the golf course managements.
Right. No, that's great advice. And yes, it is a career that has quite a lot of challenges. It's not as easy as it looks to some people that, just growing grass, what's the big deal? So you mentioned agricultural colleges. Could you name a couple of them in India who you could say?
Oh, yes. You have a Pantnagar University, which is devoted to agriculture. You have a Jabalpur Jawaharlal Nehru University, which is devoted to agriculture. You have a Punjab Agricultural University in Ludhiana. You have actually agricultural universities in India.
So that's a good place to start, is it?
Yes, it's a good place to start.
Okay.
But you must understand that a lot of people need not have a degree to go only to become a greenkeeper, because the degree is much more varied. It's for agricultural produce. It's to enhance the green revolution. So golf course careers to a great extent is also about mowing. It's about a little bit of destruction. It's not only about. In fact, a lot of golf courses have gone to seeds because they have copied greenkeeping from agricultural practices. And Scotland has not been an exception. I mean, the history of greenkeeping in Scotland does show that the first greenkeepers were good players. I mean, they were professionals. The old Tom, for example, is probably the first greenkeeper in the world. So they were the people who were giving advice. Unfortunately, in India, if you go back 25, 30 years ago, a lot of golf courses had a professional who doubled up as a greenkeeper, as a course marker, and also gave decision on the rules. Slowly, we have tried to over-specialize these things, and we have lost some of that expertise, some of that human touch.
That's a really great point you made then, coming back to the earlier presentation that Vijit was making about the future of, smaller courses, and then there was some talk about the courses in the Northeast. And we all know that the biggest challenge with those courses is the shortage of resources. So then I think what you're saying is very pertinent, that people at these small golf courses that don't produce a lot of revenue, they have to multitask. So probably, you know, the superintendent has to be the manager and maybe the coach and the referee all mixed into one. Would you say that could be a model that, you know, helps these golf courses sustain themselves?
Without doubt. And I think that multitasking is necessary. And it is practiced not only in India, it's also practiced in smaller courses abroad. I think in last few years, we have tended to glamorize certain roles. And we have tended to glamorize a certain amount of over-specialization. Over-specialization generally does not work in smaller enterprises, in any kind of business enterprises. So the old-fashioned Tom Morris or his reincarnations, which we had in India. I mean, for example, Mahinder Singh in Delhi.
Right.
I mean, was an old-fashioned professional golfer who also did certain marking of the course. He also, you know, supervised labor. He knew what to expect. But then, you know, you had very, very successful professionals who thought that they should only teach. So,
well,
but there is a market in the smaller courses, and there are enough professionals. I think Gaurav will be one of those people who will probably agree with what I'm saying. And of course, Indrajit is different. I mean, Indrajit has done a lot on education, and but essentially he's gone into the teaching academies.
Correct. So Indrajit, that gives a natural, you know, we can move to you, because tell us about, you know, what you're doing in terms of creating an academic structure and what the plans are, and, you know, what it's.
So Rishi, before I get there, you know, just to add to what Arun sir said, most of the courses in UK follow the same pattern. I mean, there are a lot of small golf courses where I've been to around UK where you have the club pro who's taking care of everything. And, you know, there are only 3 or 4 people who are running that entire golf club. So I think that is a model that is followed, I think, across the world still. And it's only those really big golf courses with huge budgets which have specialized teams doing different stuff. Coming back to education, Rishi, I think you know as well, I teach at a business school, which is ISWBM. We've got a lot of kids from there, and I've been teaching there for 13 years. People actually in the golf industry think that the only job that you can have in the golf industry is being a player or as a coach.
Correct.
And, you know, nothing beyond that, but there are 13, 14 different things that you can do. For example, you know, golf club operations, hospitality, F&B, golf architect, maintaining a golf course, of course, head professional, managing events, managing players, club fitting, repair, merchandising. There are retail. So there are different areas where people can specialize and you know, with your company or even with our company, what we see is that golf is such a different sport that if somebody is a sports management student, or if somebody is just you know, a management student, they take months, maybe, you know, years to actually learn the golf industry. And that is where we came up with a specialized course in golf management with GCMAI. So, you know, we are working with them, and they recognize the course, and they helped us put this course together. And this course will prepare a person over a year. So when he comes to you or me for a job, he will be a lot more ready for the industry, and you will not have to spend months teaching him how to run basic things, whether it's a tournament, whether it's running operations, a facility, or anything, or retail. So we basically creating industry ready people. And now we've also tied up with iLead, so one can graduate in sports management, specialize also in golf. So today, a youngster, when he passes out of class 12, he doesn't have to finish his graduation and then get ready for the golf industry or the sports industry. He can do those 3 years into sports and specialize in golf or any other sport. So when he becomes a graduate, he's already ready to join your company or my company or any other company which is related to golf.
Got it. Does this course also? So is it a postgraduate course?
So we have two different. We have an online version which which is not a postgraduate, it's a certificate course. So anyone who's passed out of class 10 can do this course. And then we have a course which is actually a recognized graduation course with iLead, with Muckout. So it's a West Bengal board, and you get a proper graduation degree on sports management doing this course. And then you can specialize in golf while you're doing this 3 years.
Okay, cool. And I would imagine that the specialization in golf entails some amount of on-ground practical training.
Of course. So we are tying up with, we've already tied up with 15, 20 companies who are related to golf. We'll be talking to you even, Rishi. So, they can come and intern with you for 2 months, 3 months. You will get somebody, you may even pick up a kid who's actually good, or you can see some potential. So this course will give you at least 3 months of internship with a golf company.
Okay. And what about, does your course also prepare people to go and work in operations at golf clubs and
absolutely
like
so
manager of the club?
Yes, it actually covers a lot of things. Rishi, I'll just tell you some of the subjects we cover. So we do basics of golf. So if somebody's not a golfer, we teach them golf. We give them a crash course in golf. They learn, there are separate subjects. One is golf merchandising and retail. So they learn how to handle retail, marketing basics, corporate communications, media. So one can even go into golf or sports journalism. They learn Microsoft Excel, facility management, player management, basics of coaching and club fitting, event management, even golf tourism. So we take care of everything. Little bit of greenkeeping is given by the GCSMI. So we take care of every single aspect. There are about 14 different areas where you could get a job in the golf industry, and we cover each and every aspect of that.
Okay. Wow, that's a really broad thing. And I think you're right. Most parents and most people generally have very little idea about the number of career opportunities that golf has to offer. And I think that is, something that we need to probably educate parents, that even if your kid doesn't make it as a top-notch player, because very few people can make a living as a professional tour player, but even if they can't be a coach, there's a lot of other things they can do. And I think that's
so just to add, Rishi, also there is a trend now. 15 years back, you saw everyone who was working in the golf industry was a golfer who tried playing and then probably couldn't make it, and then started either selling clubs, opening a shop, teaching, trying to do events. Today, you have youngsters actually coming out who have no connection with golf, but they want to get into the industry. So one guy might be a marketing genius. One guy could be a guy who's into retail and branding, and he wants to come into the industry. So the trend has now changed. It's not only the golfers who thought of playing golf and then came into this industry, but there are guys who are specialized or wanting to specialize in different aspects of marketing, retail, etc., and they are now coming into this industry.
So Indrajit, that's great to hear that there are people from a non-golfing background coming into golf, looking at a career. So tell me, for the people who are watching the show, if they want to inquire and try to find somebody to join their company or their club or whatever it may be, where do they go? Who do they contact?
So they could. We've got a website. So we've got a website where it's cfl.academy, where they could look. Even like I said, with the greenkeepers, with the association, also we are working closely. So even if they contact them, we could give them details. And that is one of the main reasons why we tied up. When I spoke to Arun sir, the whole synergy, the thing matched. With managers and greenkeepers. This association actually prepares people for the industry, and we are just giving the education. So the whole thing has kind of bonded together, and I think we are very easily accessible. So just Google search will find us, because we are the only ones doing it at the moment in the country.
So it's called CFL.academy.
That's right. CFL.academy is where one could
Okay.
get
Sounds
details.
good.
And
Sounds
we
good.
also have a linkage with that. So I
You
think
can even go through GCSMAI and they will
Yes,
link you.
exactly. Yes.
Great, because we'd love for your graduates to have jobs lined up before they graduate, so that attracts more people into the program.
Yeah, so Rishi, the first batch, we had 3-4 youngsters who passed out. One is already working with Tarun Sardesai. One is working with KNA Golf. So, the first two kids who passed out and were actually looking for a job got absorbed straight away in the first couple of weeks of passing out.
Okay, sounds good. So, Gaurav, let's move to you, because I'm sure with your last 4 years in Saudi Arabia, you can tell us, what's happening there, because it just sounds like they've got some amazing plans. They're planning to build, 10, 15 golf courses in phase 1 and then another 15 courses in phase 2. So, India being so close to Saudi Arabia, and there being anyway a lot of people who go and work in the Middle East from India, what do you think are the opportunities there in Saudi Arabia now? Are there those opportunities?
Yes, it's developing, Rishi. They have the Saudi Golf Federation. Let me start with how they went about this. So the Saudi Golf Federation set up a body called Golf Saudi. You might have seen them sponsoring European Tour events and Ladies European Tour events in the last 2-3 years. They have a Vision 2030, which is the country's ruler, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, has incorporated, where sports development is part of the Vision 2030, apart from other big infrastructure projects. They're looking at tourism, sports development, infrastructure projects, industrial development, because purely Saudi till lately was a very closed country. You didn't have tourism in the country. Your only tourism was religious tourism, which was to the Holy Lands. I was based in Safa Golf Club, which is about 100 kilometers away from Jeddah, in the King Abdullah University township. It was operated and maintained by a company called MGS, which is a Saudi-based company who I had been recruited by. I initially joined as the marketing manager and membership manager for the golf club, which I did for 1 year, and worked under the golf club manager. Upon his resignation and he had returned back to the UK and Ireland, I got an opportunity to get promoted up and was the golf club manager in that facility. In Saudi Arabia, currently, like you said, they have plans of development. So there are 6 private golf clubs in Saudi Arabia currently, which under the Golf Saudi banner, they want to develop further another 10 golf courses linked to the big infrastructure township projects, which is like DIOM and the Qiddiya Golf development outside Riyadh, and other like the Red Sea development project and things like that. How we are viewed is basically our golf facility is a very private golf facility. Since it's based inside this private township, it's the membership is mainly expats and with a few local Saudi members. How they want to expand is they want to develop the infrastructure at the ground level. So they've recruited staff like their staffing is mainly from ex-Troon Golf from the UAE. Because the UAE, as you've seen, has been a rapid transformation of golf over the last 20 plus years as well. So they want to replicate that in Saudi Arabia. Going forward, you have to understand that with new golf courses developments there, they look at what's the accreditation of the applicant to different jobs. So you have to be associated with international bodies. The PGA is one big body which is in the UK and Europe, which you have to get accredited if you want to be a golf instructor or a golf professional in any of those academies. With the golf course maintenance in mind, you have to be part of either the GSCAA or the BIGA, which is in the UK. That's looking after the developing golf course managers or golf course superintendents or maintenance managers. You have to get a background in that, and then possibly look into joining these new golf course developments. As for myself, like I'm a member of the Club Managers Association of Europe. I got accredited and went for the management development programs which were run in Dubai as part 1 and part 2 programs. And it was for all the club managers based in the Middle East to go through this program. Now, the GCS MAI, I can see they have a good footing in India now. Like they're a national body. They have, the members are maintaining most of the golf facilities in India. And I guess they would have to look forward is developing more online programs, more seminars, getting more accredited with the American body or with BIGA and some of these international associations.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that if people from India want to try and get jobs in Saudi, looking at the golf boom that's coming on in the next 10 years, then they need to try and get some accreditation from these international associations and maybe attend some of their courses in the Middle East, etc. So these courses are held quite regularly even now in the Middle East, where Indians can Google it and try to figure out how to attend these courses.
Well, the Club Managers Association of Europe, for instance, they MDP programs available online now for you to purchase and attend the 1-week courses. So with other associations, I'm not really sure.
Okay, I think that's a big advantage of actually the pandemic has really given a big impetus to online education. And whereas previously people felt, oh, I have to go to Scotland, I have to go to US to take a course. Now almost everybody is doing courses online. And I think that's something that people in India should look at more closely and figure out what are the online courses they can do in order to enhance their professional accreditation. Yes, I also need to add is that for the GCS MAI members, a good course which they could look at is which I did 2 years back with the Ohio State University. It's accreditation in golf course management, where you are certified by them as to be a golf course manager. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, because I think one of the areas that in India right now there's a bit of a gap, if I might say so, is that there is no proper system of accrediting or saying who's a professionally qualified golf club manager. It's something which usually, I mean, it's a bit unstructured. So probably that's an opportunity for GCS MAI and all of us to work together and try to figure out how to train and accredit and arrange continuing education for certified golf club managers, or here they're called golf secretaries. Yes. Arun, what would you say? I mean, to something like that, do you see that need existing in India?
Oh, definitely we need that. It's definitely needed. In fact, I'll go back to what Indrajit said and what I was saying when we're talking about professionals looking after everything. I think there's a great need for people who play golf and who play golf till some level to get involved in managing golf courses, especially the smaller facilities. And you were asking about agriculture university graduates. I think the smaller golf courses will never be able to afford them because they have alternative careers. So I think there is a need to also not only respect the greenkeeper, there's also a need to respect the golf professionals in a golf course. Managements need to respect them, take their advice, and do not resent the income which they get from their pro shops. I mean, they should not be trying. So once you do that, I think you'll have a certain amount of ecosystem. And I completely agree with what Gaurav and Indrajit are saying. We need shorter booster courses for people who are aware of this game, who can enhance the skill without taking time off from their livelihood and going abroad and making it much more expensive. There is a huge need for this online short courses. And that's a good way of going in. In fact, in Scotland, there was a saying that Scottish courses deteriorated when agriculturalists came onto the membership committees or on the management committees. They got the practices of agriculture into golf course management. And that is how the golf courses started deteriorating, overwatering, lack of drainage, etc.
Right. Okay.
So Rishi, just to add to Arun sir's points, the whole idea about doing this course, the course that we've done, and to have it recognized by this our association is basically, so there are a lot of people who are wanting to do this because it's recognized by the association, and it helps them get a job because there is some kind of a standard that is set. So that is the whole idea about us getting this course online, and we will be working on getting international recognition also, which will help both our association as well as the course to expand across India. We are already, there are a couple of people from Bangladesh who are interested in doing the course, and we will slowly go across to Malaysia, Singapore, because the something similar to this, there's nothing in Asia. I think there's something in Australia, Europe, but there's no real course which helps you be a golf manager in Asia.
Right. Yeah, that's a great opportunity. I think that's good that you're taking it up. So since you mentioned Bangladesh, let's now move to Major Rahman. I think he's got everything sorted out, audio, video, everything. So
yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. And
thank you. Yeah, it's pleasure.
Where are you? You're in Dhaka, Chittagong? Where?
I think I can hear you properly. I think you can also hear me. Yeah, I'm based in Dhaka, basically. Yeah.
Okay, great. Tell us a little bit, because some of our listeners may not be familiar. How many golf courses are there in Bangladesh at the moment?
Okay. Yeah, I was listening almost all the seminars, at least for time being of you, that your organization, excellent effort. I must first express my gratitude. I'm obliged to see such effort by you people. It's pleasure. Yeah, we have only basically, golf is just growing in Bangladesh. We have only 18-hole course full, and then 20 other 9-hole course. So it's something like 25, and maybe another 3 to 5 less than that. So in total, 30 golf courses we have in Bangladesh. So if you ask me to tell something about today's subject, it's my personal experience, and also working in golf industry for more than 20 years. It is basically, though I'm based in Dhaka, I was working with the Professional Golf Federation of Bangladesh for a long time. So, and also there way I had to move around the world. Indrajit said correctly, in Asia, in fact, the golf industry in Asia is depth of penetration is very less. It depends. The career in golf industry have I seen in Europe and America, as Mr. Winkamara Arun Singh Sir told, is correct. The leading country of, depth of golf industry in America and also in Europe. The penetration of golf tourism, where there is a golf tourism, there is a golf industry. So in Asia, as we all know, it's Korea, it's China, it's Thailand, and your country a little bit is coming up, especially these two elements. If I talk about is golf tourism, and another is golf industry. So golf industry market is again affected by this recent COVID. So a career in golf industry in Asia is a big question, because we don't have really, as you have been discussing, many of them, Mr. Gaurav especially said, American PGA has more than 12 university affiliation with 12 normal universities. They graduate people, they do masters. It is called PGM, Professional Golf Management. Then a lot of courses, short courses are there, but I'm talking about the career long courses. Like they have a master's on golf, professional golf management. I at least know more than 12 universities. They are linked up with PGA, PGM. This is a professional golf management. There is a division of PGA. They conduct all these career development courses and graduations program. In Asia, recently I was told by Malaysian Golf Association, they have started. They have opened 2 universities, 1 national academy. They have, in fact, I interviewed some of them. They have some university where masters in golf management is given. They have just recently started. Another university, I was told that they have started some sort of graduation program. And in light of that, as you had been talking about Bangladesh, we also we are thinking we have a National Army Academy. That's a national academy called Army Golf Club Academy, Army Academy. But then run by Army, that's why it is named as such, but it's a National Golf Academy located at Army Golf Club at Dhaka. They are conducting basically sort of golf instructional or golf coaching or professional career development courses. But if you require a profession in golf industry, like as we all know, like director golf course, GM golf course, course superintendent, or architect, or something like greenkeeping, something like a club maker, or other technical expertise like golf writer, or maybe some other golf agent nowadays, teaching professional. I think in subcontinent, as other countries, in Bangladesh also, main stream is towards professional, like it is supposed to be otherwise. Professional and teaching professional, these are the two categories we basically, by experience or by coaching or by instruction, we are developing for golf industry in Bangladesh now. But I wish we should go for other portfolios that I mentioned, like golf architect. Only Bijit is there in subcontinent, so far I know, a qualified man from England. So we require more and more qualified expert, technically expert, trained, rules official, like as I said, other portfolios, course superintendents, knows about draft management, knows about, as you have been talking, greenkeeping, knows about all these things, course management. So yeah, in short, what I wanted to tell is, yeah, we are lacking behind. Asia is lagging behind as a whole. But I must appreciate the words I heard from Mr. Indrajit Bhalutia today. He has a wonderful effort. What I did not know otherwise. He has started, as he said, that a lot of courses, short courses for golf career development. It's an excellent effort. And yeah, about recognition, yeah, in Bangladesh, I'm told Malaysia and Bangladesh, especially in Bangladesh, they are trying to get affiliated to some national universities. So to put the golf career development programs under normal education system, like a graduate boy has something more subjects on golf development, career development, like, as I say, professional golf management or greenkeeping or something like that. That's sort. The subject curriculum may be finalized by those expert people, those are running the academy or institute or college or university. But first, you have to be affiliated with some accreditation body, as you have been discussing. Yeah, GCMA maybe for India, but for Bangladesh also, we require sort of organization like that where we can accredit those colleges, those institutes, those academies to develop, to ensure development of career. Career subjects of golf, the subjects of golf management. So with that, I want to finish here. Like, yeah, we'll also grow. Yeah, we'll also grow. India, you are there already. You have started. We'll also start. Hopefully, our National Golf Academy will have a curriculum. We'll have courses. We'll have degrees based on professional golf management. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Major Rahman. I mean, we understand that, since golf is still small, you mentioned 25 to 30 courses. Tell me, are there any sort of courses that have been built by private developers, the way it happens in India and in other countries where there's a real estate development and somebody's building a private course and selling real estate? Is anything like that happening in Bangladesh?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is coming up. Like out of those 30, I must mention that, yeah, few of them are private already. Like Puriani Pijete 18-hole course in Chittagong, we have out of, in fact, I told 4, but that if you include that, it will be 5. If I include the private golf courses, it will be more than 30. I talked about the government, public golf courses only. Private golf courses, yes, we have. Already we have 118-hole from Chittagong, other few 9 holes in Narail, in Chittagong, Potenga, Coxsbazar, and also in Jolshiri. Hopefully, as I'm associated somehow with the Golf Association, also the Golf Federation, we call it, as our Golf Federation looks after the amateur golf, development of golf courses, infrastructure is basically by Golf Federation. So we had been trying to develop some golf courses in Jolshiri. It is called another Noi courses in Bosundhara area, another in Coxsbazar. So maybe, yeah, we are trying to increase the number. Of course, private entrepreneurs are coming up. Yeah, it is.
So I mean, one of the things I could suggest is that we view GCS MAI more like a GCS MA South Asia, or subcontinent. And I'm sure that the GCS MAI would be more than happy to welcome members from Bangladesh who would like to join this association, interact with our members in GCS MAI and gain the knowledge and expertise, perhaps even come over for a couple of months, like an internship Arun, wouldn't you say that's something that can be done?
Yes, Rishi, what you said, that's what exactly what I wanted to tell Major Mahmood. I think we'll be very, very happy to collaborate with anyone in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
We'll be very happy to cooperate and be affiliated, and we could have some kind of cross training. We could visit, they could visit, we could have memberships. We could join these education programs, which we are sort of co-hosts or co-promoters. So we could, incidentally, there's also a university in Maharashtra, which has approached us and which is talking about creating some certificate courses or diploma courses in golf management.
Right.
Excellent. Yeah.
So I think there's a good opportunity there for people in Bangladesh who are trying to learn about being a superintendent and those things to approach GCSMAI, and at least whatever we have in India, we can share with, people in. So I think after this, it would be great for there to be more interaction, and you can always ask them to join, apply as members, and give them the assurance that their memberships would be accepted. And Indrajit, I'm sure you can also extend that people who want to come and enroll in your
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It is.
Also, we have the advantage of being online. So, you could always do the course online. Yeah. But I just wanted to add, Rishi, we already have a very strong relationship with Bangladesh. With most of the Bangladeshi coaches are already trained by the NGI. So, and we've been actually, just before COVID struck, we were actually talking to the Bangladesh, the professional association, the federation, to send NGI coaches to actually do their refreshers in Bangladesh.
True.
So we already have a strong
affiliation programs. Yeah, it is.
With Bangladesh in the teaching front, and I think that can easily be extended with the GCMAI.
Right.
Okay. It is.
That sounds great. So what I understand, Major Rahman, is that there are about 25 to 30 courses which are owned by the government, mainly the armed forces. Am I right?
It is. And
about 5 courses that are private developments.
It is, yeah.
And these the government-owned courses, you mentioned public courses. So is it that they are very open and almost anybody can join, or are they closed to defense personnel? What is the access?
Yeah, you are very correct. I call it public. Yeah, it is open. Basically, the golf courses that Army, like other third world countries, manage the courses, golf courses. We have 90% of the golf courses are open for all. Like Bhattiari golf course is situated outside cantonments. Dhaka, we have 2 courses. One is outside cantonment, one is inside cantonment. So in all, maximum golf courses are located outside cantonment, though managed by Army defense people. And also, there's 1 or 2 are there. It's not owned by Army, it's owned by government. And also, as I said, few by private entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, I know till a couple of years ago, there were a couple of tournaments on the PGTI tour that were held in Bangladesh. So
yes.
Are there, obviously due to COVID, there's been a disruption, but are there quite a few tournaments going on for your local pros? I mean, whether they are small or big?
Yeah. It is also another point of focus for me, as I'm involved in this official tour of Bangladesh, also with your PGTI too. So yeah, we have been conducting last 3 to 5 years number of PGTI tournaments in Bangladesh. Hopefully after COVID we will go for that again. But for our domestic circuit, we have a BPGA tour going on. For COVID it is only 3 to 4 tournaments we could conduct. But right after this, from this month of August, we are again restarting with number of tournaments we have in our hand. So on ability of courses and COVID restrictions is over. In terms of COVID restrictions, I must say we are little bit, as in Asia, golf is nowhere for COVID restrictions. So we are trying to develop some sort of bubble, and then trying to reopen the tour soon. Yeah.
Right.
Rishi, can I come in for a minute?
Oh, please.
Okay, I just wanted to add something. At GCSMAI, we have a special focus for expanding the golf at grassroots level. So we not only focus on superintendents and managers. We think that if the golf does not grow, the careers in golf will not grow at all, and there will be not enough careers for superintendents or managers. So we take that responsibility and we go to smaller towns, tier 2, tier 3 towns. And we are happy to report that we have made some impact. We have added certain amount of visibility in those small towns. And Bangladesh or even India or our subcontinent is not only economically underdeveloped, I think golfingly we are underdeveloped.
Sure.
And the only way we can actually become better is by expanding the base of the pyramid. And we're fortunate that we do some work on that. I think Indrajit does some work on that. And I think Bangladesh fits into, and India have that synergy. And GCSMAI could actually create that little extra awareness, little extra, zing it can be given to golf in Bangladesh. You can have more people playing.
Sorry, yeah. Sir, can I add one point here?
Sure.
Yeah, Mr. Arun Singh, what you say, sir, right. I'm also with your concept that we should go for more organizational structure than that of the golf in subcontinent, as you have been saying. We have to change the narrative. Yeah, it is always an individual matter. Like, I am a professional, so, or it is only based on experience or personal expertise. What I have seen in Europe and America, it is already organized, or it is organizational structure is developed. It's infrastructure developed. There should be some infrastructure like you, GCMI, in Bangladesh also, as I understand, it should be recognized by this kind of organization authorized for accrediting these golf career development courses. And also, why not we bring this course curriculum of golf to the mainstream to attract more and more? Yeah, of course, we have to increase the number of golf courses, increase the depth or penetration of golf among the general public. But then we have to show the path to general public how to develop career, taking golf as a career, not only playing career, also in other sector, as you said, all mentioned, like in developed countries. And also in Asia, I said Korea, their golf industry penetration is the highest. In Malaysia, in China, in Thailand, and then I must say your country. So yeah, we should move forward with you in line of your GCMI, something like that. And also we must develop more and more organizational structure to develop the knowledge, to develop the skill. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I think, we're going to try and wrap up in about 5-7 minutes, if that's okay, because I think the next panel is all ready to go. So if there are any questions, this is the time to put it in the chat. Otherwise, I have a question for Gaurav. One of the things we see in the Middle East, at least, is that a lot of golf course management and professionals and, let's say, architects, etc., are dominated by Europeans, right? So do you feel that there's a good opportunity for Indians, South Asians? How do you break into that sort of network of Europeans that seem to dominate things in the Middle East? Tell us how, for Indians who are aspiring to work there, what are the challenges and how can they actually connect and get their foot in the door?
Yes, Rishi, it's a very good point. What you pointed out was that I would say, like, among the club managers in the Middle East, I was the only Indian. Everyone else was from the UK or the US or Australia. These are your three predominant countries which are working in management of golf clubs and facilities in the Middle East. I would say, like, be like me. Like, I was looking at an opportunity outside of India. I was pragmatic in my approach, showing my experience. I've been playing golf for a long time, since I was a junior. Actually, you taught me my first lesson as a kid, and then growing up and becoming a professional golfer. Then I went into different project developments in South India. So yeah, I would say that develop your LinkedIn network. That's very important. Try to also, I hope post-COVID, try to visit more golf shows if you want, like in the Middle East or in Southeast Asia. Develop your credentials, your skill levels. You have to show to the guy employing you that you're capable of doing the task. When you just arrive, just there. Like when I went to Saudi Arabia, I was at work the next day. I was told that you're on 3 months probation. You don't perform, you're on the next ticket back. So it is a tough world. You have to look at how you're better than the rest and apply yourself there.
Okay, so that's a.
And you stayed
that's a-
back.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
4 years is a good innings.
Rishi, just to add to something on Golf Saudi.
Sure.
I mean, Golf Saudi has been into great news about making grand projects, spending
Correct.
millions of petrodollars, getting Justin Johnson, getting
Correct,
large.
correct.
But in this hype about this large petrodollars, what we're missing out that they're doing something very, very right. Golf Saudi has signed a contract with Golfin of UK to teach their school kids golf as part of their curriculum.
Okay.
And they are trying to expand the base of the pyramid because they also recognize that ultimately a lot of local Saudis have to play golf.
Yes.
You cannot rely only on these large tournaments to expand the game of golf. So I think there is a lesson there. Despite all that money, despite all the grand connects they are focusing on the base of the pyramid.
Right. So Indrajit, I think we'll take a last question to you, Indrajit, and then we'll sign off to the next panel. That obviously coaching seems to be the natural progression of players who maybe cannot make it as a tour pro. So do you still feel that there's a good demand for coaches if youngsters, like parents say, my kid, he's crazy about golf, but he's not good enough to make it as an international tour pro? Is there a career to be had in coaching in India?
Definitely, Rishi. We've got about 450 odd teachers in India, and out of that, I think only about half of them are actually working on golf. So, working as a teacher, but so coaching is still a very, very premium job, but everyone is not cut out for teaching. Just because you're a good player doesn't make you a good teacher. So you may be a good player who's a very good marketing guy, or who speaks well, or who's a very good he's got a knack for retail. So if you don't make it as a player, coaching used to be the only other option for you, but there was no guarantee that if you're a good player, you're going to be a good coach. But the whole industry is open to you. So if you're passionate about golf, you already have an edge to work in the industry. So let me make it clear that somebody who's a passionate golfer, I'm not saying necessarily a good golfer, will always have an edge to work in the golf industry.
Yes.
From a person who's not a golfer.
Of course.
And we are trying to bridge the gap with the courses and all, but it'll always be there. So coaching is of course a very premium and it's very well paying. We have coaches. I just want to make one point. We have teachers who are uneducated, who can barely sign their name, and they're earning 50,000 rupees a month. Whereas we have an accountant who's got a degree in tally, who's a post-grad in accountancy, is earning 10,000 rupees. And he or she is signing those checks for the guy who can't even write his name, but he's got a skill which only 250 people in the country have. Whereas you have millions of accountants.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So it's sad, but that's true.
No, but so tell me, Indrajit, like you said very rightly, that just because you're a good player doesn't make you a good coach. So if somebody has the passion and they want to move from being a good player to a good coach, what should they do? Is there a place they can go? Is there a structure where they can
absolutely
of coaching?
Absolutely. So IGU has the NGI, which was AK sir has been a part of it for quite some time. We've all been a part of it. It was formed in 2005, and in the last 16 years, it's evolved. The National Golf Academy of India has evolved, and it's getting better. Like I said, we have now 450 certified teachers in the country, and we are adding about 30-40 of them every year. So we have a structured teachers program. And if somebody wants to take coaching as a career, one of the main hurdles, of course, is the playing ability test. So you have to be able to shoot 14 over, I think, in 2 days, 7 and 7, or 9 and 5, whatever. And if you're a senior, if you're 50 plus, I think then you get 2 more shots, 16 over in 2 days. So you have to have basic playing skills. Once you have the basic playing skills, you can get into teaching.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. I mean, I think the next panel is ready to go. So it's also late on a Friday evening. People are ready to pull out the, the Scottish stuff. So we'll move on. But thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you, Major Rahman, Indrajit.
Thank you.
Gaurav.
Thank you.
It's fun. I hope everybody enjoyed the session. I certainly learned a lot. So I hope other people did as well.
Thank you,
And,
Rishi.
Thank you.
do send in your comments on the chat after this panel is over. So thanks a lot, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Rishi. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone else.
Bye. 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 Thank you.